Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce. This is a D&T C200. It is a night vision scope, it is a red dot, it is an action camera, and it is a flip to the side magnifier. The rifle I have this mounted on is a Anderson Manufacturing 300 Blackout 16-inch barrel. Of course, the optic right here. I do have a IR light, infrared light there, because this optic does not have its own infrared light source, so you gotta supply your own. I already sighted this through the bore, just peeping through the bore and then lining it up on the edge of the wall in the bunker with the scope. So this will probably be close, but there will be some fine tuning necessary, I am sure. All right, we are a bit high. There's a bullseye right there. Let's go ahead and take care of those tin cans real quick, because why not? Making them dance. Okay, cool. We got to hit some still targets too. I've barely hit that big one before. I've barely used it. It's like a cowbell. Man, gotta love that cowbell. I want to show you what a great setup on that rifle looks like here. Look at that brass. All that brass I just shot, boom, right here, basically covered by the palm of my hand. That is a well-gassed setup. It is now nighttime here on the farm, so we can go ahead and test out the C200 D&T optic here, see how good it is at night when shooting, because I don't really get a lot of opportunities to shoot at night. Lighting my way here is the Woburn X4. There's a close-up of it in daylight. I've got a red cap that goes over. It also does a red light from the side too, which is interesting. If I can get that to, it also does that too, which is good. And that's a pretty good bright red light that's usable. And it does all kinds of other funky color. What's weird is you can see the suppressor in the shot. Let me shake that a little bit. You can see I'll circle where the suppressor is. So this is 50 yards away, dead of night. Now let's turn on the IR. Oh, there we go. The IR, yeah, the IR kind of made it out of focus again. Weird. So you're going to have to adjust that focus. It does not autofocus or anything. There's green phosphorus right there. I'm not a huge fan of the green phosphorus or white phosphorus. That's a little more clear. A little more clear, you can see that's a can of beans right there. You can kind of recognize the label, but I still can't tell which one of these. I think this is a Dr. Thunder right there. And there's full color, trying to make sense of it all with the IR on. It's completely pitch black, so if I turn that off, then it's going to be completely pitch black. But, so that's pretty useless. I still think I like this best. Yeah, I think I like the black and white best for, I don't know, let me go ahead and boy, this thing's so quiet. And you really can't tell exactly where that was, where that hit. That's as good as I can get there. Let's see if I can see the impact here. A little bit, yeah, you can see that just a little bit where I just hit it right there. So you can see it better with the green phosphorus. So maybe this whole phosphorus thing has its advantages. There we go. Boom. So I kind of like the white phosphor now. I thought I liked the black and white, but I'm not sure. I think the white phosphor is best in this scenario. Let me zoom out just a little bit so then we can get the full spray if we want that. The ants are going to love that. Let's bring some still. Let's make some coyotes yell. So that concludes the night vision portion of this review. But this thing does several other things along with that. So not only is it night vision, but it is an action camera for guns, and it is a magnifier for red dots. And it can be used as a red dot, a standalone red dot as well. So we're going to go ahead and go to the range and test that out right now. We are now down at the still range. You can see several still targets down range. They start at 50 yards, 75, 100 yards. This time around I have a Vortex red dot right here. It's old school red dot from Vortex. And I'm using the optic here as a magnifier, and it can also flip to the side. Isn't that a sweet setup? And now I'm recording through the red dot down range. And I can use the dial up top to go between 1 power zoom and 3 power zoom in this function. I did not sight in the red dot, so we're going to do that right now on the fly. Safety off. What is that? I think that's a 50-yard target right there. Right on. Right on. Nice. Ba-ding. Beautiful sound. Let's go out to about 120-ish yards over in the corner here. Oh, right below it. There we go. I aim for the head. Now this is a 4 MOA dot, which means it is pretty big when it goes through the magnifier. It'd be better to have a 2 MOA dot and then have it magnified up to 4 or 3 or whatever it might be. Ringing still at 120-ish yards. One other really cool feature that this thing has is it automatically starts recording if I flip it to the side. And from what I understand, it acts like an action camera. Beautiful. And just to show you what that looks like here, we have the red dot right there, and we have the optic right there. And you can see it is acting like an action camera off to the side. Now, how is that useful? I don't know, but it's kind of cool, isn't it? Oh, that's so good. We are now at the part of the video where I go over the good, the bad, and the ugly of the new D&T C200 night vision optic. Of course, this is my Vortex in front of it, but this optic here. Number one, the good. The good is that this is the most compact, versatile night vision optic I have ever used, especially when you consider it's a very budget-minded optic, and it is very good to the end user at the end of the eyepiece. That's a caveat to that. We'll get to that later. Not only is this thing good as a night vision optic, but also as a night vision magnifier to a red dot you've already got on your rifle. So you don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of sighting in this scope or this D&T optic for every single rifle. If you already got a red dot on that rifle, you can just slap this thing on there and go to town using the red dot as your aiming device. The one thing I really appreciate is the UI there, because all you got to do is twist that knob there. There's a little knob on top of there, and that is how you sight in a reticle of the red dot. That's how you basically engage the menu for the most part and cycle through, and it makes it so much quicker than having the 4 buttons in the cross pattern. As with all products, the good always comes with the bad. So the bad, like many other D&T night vision products I have tested, the video recording capability is kind of garbage, which stinks because when you actually look through it with your own eye, it looks crisp, it looks clear, it looks clean, it looks very highly detailed and in focus. But if you look at that recording later on your computer, it's going to be a low quality, low resolution look. And I really do think that recording issue is really holding back the D&T line in optics, because no one can prove to you on the internet that this is a good optic, because every time you show that video, it's kind of garbage. The night vision part of the video wasn't too bad, but the daytime video was pretty grainy, pretty garbage, and something that you would see in a GoPro from 2009. The second bad thing about this optic is the fact that it does not provide its own infrared light source. You gotta supply your own, which I've got a big flashlight right here for that. And finally, let's talk about the ugly. And the ugly is that for whatever reason, the video that came out of this was all kinds of garbage and gobbledygook when I tried to put it into my editing software. I have no idea why. It has never done that before, but for some reason, there is some recording snafu inside this scope that is impacting my ability to edit that video. That tells me that the video that's recorded on this is filled with errors, filled with issues that my editing software is having trouble recognizing and editing through. And that's where all that flicker came from. If you just watch this on your computer, it's fine. But once you hit the editing bay, it goes all kinds of crazy. In conclusion, the D&T C200 night vision optic is very cool. It has a ton of neat features. It has a ton of neat capabilities. They all kind of fall short, but can be excused by the fact that it is a budget optic. I personally will not be keeping this though. I will be sending this back because it can't be used as an action camera as well as it should be. If the quality of video this thing was produced was as good as my big camera, then I would keep this all day long because it would be a great asset to the channel, but it doesn't do that. What kind of night vision scope would you be interested in? And would you utilize something like this as a magnifier, as just a standalone optic, and in its night vision capabilities? Because I'm interested to see what other people think about as far as night vision goes on their rifle. But that is all I have for you today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because I got a lot more of this on the way. As always, you guys have a great day. See ya.